Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick chat. Today on the quick chat, I want to talk about Tory Lanez and this case that he has with Megan Thee Stallion, or at least shall I say the state of California versus Tory Lanez. He's finally found out his sentencing, and we learned that on yesterday, and we learned that he has been sentenced to 10 years. I do want to go ahead and get into the article over here of People magazine. So let's see exactly what it is they have to say. Rapper Tory Lanez sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Judge David Harryford handed down a 10-year sentence to the Canadian artist for shooting the Plan B. The Plan B. This girl got so many other songs, and y'all want to label her the Plan B rapper in the feet, okay? In the summer of 2020. All right, they're saying Canadian rapper Tory Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years after being found guilty on all three counts, guys, for shooting Grammy-winning superstar Megan Thee Stallion 3 years ago. Okay, Judge David Harryford had been expected to sentence Lanez Monday at a hearing that usually only takes a few hours, but Harryford had attorneys for both sides argue each factor of his potential sentence, allowing 7 witnesses to give statements on Lanez's charitable contributions, his childhood trauma, and being a father to his 6-year-old son. Okay. They're saying that according to the Associated Press, at the start of Monday's proceedings, Lanez had over 70 submitted letters of support. Over 70 submitted letters? Over 70? Including a note from a fancy rapper Iggy Azalea to Judge Harryford, asking for leniency that was transformative, not life destroying. When determining his sentence, she says, I am not in support of throwing away anyone's life if we can give reasonable punishments that are rehabilitative instead. She goes on to say, I support prison reform, period. Okay. Now, this is what it seems like she wrote on Twitter. So she wrote a statement on behalf of Tory Lanez, wanting him to get a lesser sentence. But at the same time, it seems like that letter went public. A lot of people had a lot of things to say to and about her. And then she came back to say that she's in support of prison reform, period. As far as her writing a letter on behalf of Tory Lanez, I could care less. I don't mind if that's what she wants to do. Just make sure that you stand in it. If that's how you feel and that's what you wrote, then cool, girl, go do your thing, because people have to accept and understand the fact that there are going to be people that are team Megan, and as much as y'all don't like it, there are going to be people that are team Tory Lanez, whether you don't like it or whether you don't even understand it. So she had a right to do whatever she wanted to do with her pen and her paper. And with her pen and her paper, she chose to write this letter on behalf of this man, driven by prison reform. So if that's what she wants to do what you do, but it don't seem like it really helped. I'm not sure how many years he was initially facing. I thought it could have been possibly 13. It was either 10 to 13 years that he was facing. But now we see that the judge has, put down the hammer. You know what I do find to be very interesting? Y'all need to be careful out here when y'all committing crimes and thinking that you got friends, because all these people was featuring Tory on their songs and stuff like that. But Tory, these people couldn't even submit a letter on your behalf, because as of right now, from what I'm hearing, Iggy is the only person that came to the front to say that she doesn't think that you should get any harsh punishment. So where are the people that were taking subtle shots at the person that was shot in the foot, or the people that was continuing to feature him on songs, like y'all just was standing for him? My question is, why y'all ain't write no letter? Why y'all ain't write no letter in support of that man? I haven't, lesser time or whatever. But anywho, you thought you had a friend, and it looks like you didn't. But let's keep going. They say after a 9-day trial on December 23rd, okay, 2 days before Christmas, the unanimous verdict was handed down by a jury in Los Angeles Superior Court, convicting a 31-year-old singer of assaulting 28-year-old Megan with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying a loaded and unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Okay. For me, my thing is this: a lot of people focusing on the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion, like, he should have never shot her, you're guilty of shooting her. I don't know if it's so much as you guilty of shooting her, but you're definitely guilty of what the fuck they said that you were guilty of. And these are, I think this is where we probably got a lot of shit confused. Yes, the things that you're guilty of are a result of what ended up happening to her. But primarily, I need people to understand, at least from my perspective, sir, you understand what your charges were and what you've already dealt with in the past. You know what I'm saying? You know your history. You know that you've been arrested before. You know you're on probation or whatever and what you can and what you cannot do. And you knew that you could not have no firearm, not no damn semi-automatic. You had that on you, okay? And it was loaded. You was carrying it. It was unregistered. It was an unregistered firearm in the vehicle. And then you was the one that discharged it. All right? Now, all of that came out in the trial, and it was also being said that the witness that came on your behalf saw you in particular with the item. That was a nail in your coffin right there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is giving that you did what they said that you did. You had this firearm, and therefore they found you guilty on those particular charges of you having this semiotic firearm and firing it and all this other negligence or whatever the case was. Like, that's just what it is. You probably should have gotten on the stand and spoken your piece, but in all honesty, I don't think it would have mattered whether you would have spoke your piece or you would not have spoken your piece. I think that it was clear what was going to happen. You were going to go to jail. Is 10 years excessive? I don't know. I can't say that 10 years is excessive or that it's not excessive, for this crime that you committed. Like, I don't know. I just feel like this. If you did it, then you got to deal with the consequences of what comes with that. And you decided to go forward with the full trial. So it is what it is, I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know why it's even an argument about, oh my God, 10 years, that's a long time. I'm like, okay, he got multiple charges. And individual charges carry different amount of years. Like, it's really that. Whether he's going to do the full 10, I don't know. I see they were trying to get the judge. I want to believe that it was this particular judge they were trying to get off of the trial, right? They were trying to get this particular judge off of the case, or at least off of sentencing, and that was delayed, so, or at least that didn't work out in your favor. So I don't know what to tell you, but this is a result of your actions. I really feel like you did this to yourself, from you messing with the two friends, to them arguing over you, to whatever the fuck happened, whoever shot. Because my thing is this, you have been saying that you ain't shoot this girl, but you ain't coming to tell us who the fuck did. So until you want to say who the fuck really shot her, if that's how you feel, then people gonna continue to believe that it was your stupid ass. And based on whatever came out in that trial, all evidence definitely was given and pointing to your ass. So that's just where we at. Okay, so this is a result. And then here's the gag for me, Tory, baby. I hate to say it, but you had an opportunity to not even go to trial. Because I do remember when Meg people and your people were going back and forth for at least 3 months trying to get a resolution as to not get a trial, but this is what we're willing to give you. This is the plea deal. This is whatever. And even if they would have probably said, okay, we're going to give you 3 years in jail, they probably would have not. If y'all would have presented that in front of the judge or whatever, the judge could have gave you something lenient than the 3 years, or he probably would have threw you in there for 1 year and then you would have been out. Whatever, you probably will be coming out around this time, child. Who the hell knows? But I feel like you had an opportunity to accept a different deal and not even go forward with even wanting a trial. But I think that I don't know what kind of energy you had. I just think you was just too confident. And I mean, that don't even sound right, because the person is confident in themselves. I mean, like, okay, fine. But at the end of the day, I think that how you played it, you should have just really laid low. If you know you didn't shoot her or anything, you shouldn't have. I wouldn't have been saying nothing. I would have put out music, but I probably wouldn't have put out no music that's dedicated to, the overall situation with Megan. So everything, it was kind of giving a bit of taunting, just a little bit, I think you just probably should have maybe have laid low. If you was going to go to trial and just let it all, come out in the midst of the trial or whatever. But, I mean, it is what it is. Whether it's harsh, it's 10 years. And that's going to be up to his attorneys to try to get that sentencing lowered, or to see what they can, with those 10 years, what can the judge possibly change and give him credit for. To say, oh, okay, 3 years served, you'll do 7. Okay, or what parameters does he have to get out with good behavior? Like, how soon can he get out? Is it possible for him to do 2 years and then have 8 years probation? Like, I don't know. And what doesn't help you is you already having a history prior. And then what definitely doesn't help you is your attorneys now trying to get the judge removed from the case. So I don't know, honey. But it happened. And people being shocked and surprised, I don't know. I'm not really shocked, surprised. I'm not going to tell y'all how y'all should feel, though. Whether you're a Tory fan, Megan fan, feel however the fuck you want to feel, they your feelings, okay? But it's like, I'm not surprised by the sentencing. People have gotten sentenced for more for doing less. Hello? So it is what it is. I hate that for you, but we can continue to go through this article. The charges stemmed from a dispute after Lanez, Megan, and her former assistant and ex-friend Kelsey Harris left a pool party at Kylie Jenner's home in Los Angeles on July 12th. As driver Jaquan Smith was shuttling them around in a Cadillac Escalade, an argument erupted in the vehicle and moved outside onto the sidewalk. Now, my thing is this, though. The bodyguard never spoke. So, I mean, if it was the bodyguard that shot, if that was even true, Tory, you should have came to the front and you should have started calling names. Because let me tell you, I'm going to be a fucking snitch if I really did not do it, as I do believe that Tory is still trying to say that he didn't do to this day. So my thing is, I'm going to be snitching. If I'm going to come out to the public and I'm going to have a lot of things to say, or I'm going to taunt, or I'm going to do whatever, girl, I'm snitching. I'm telling who did it. I'm not going to protect nobody, because if you want to assume that Kelsey did it, Kelsey damn sure did not protect you. Do you feel what I'm saying? Kelsey did not protect you, baby. She didn't. So you should have got to talking. You should have got to running that mouth and letting the people know what's really going on. Okay. Let me see, because there was another situation that I wanted to kind of get into, because it looks like Miss Megan Thee Stallion is actually coming after Kelsey at this particular time. So let me see if I can grab some details on that. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Cause that's crazy. Like, I mean, girl, ain't no fucking way I'm finna sit up here, and think that if I didn't shoot nobody, or I didn't do nothing, my hand went on the gun, or whatever the case is, baby. Don't think that I'm not gonna tell. I'm telling on you, cause you ain't finna send me up the river. But this is where we are, and all roads according to the evidence, which is why I really wish that the trial was televised, so that way we could get our own interpretation and breakdown of what was actually happening in the courtroom, instead of relying on other people spoon feeding us the information, and then feeding the information to us with whatever angle they were choosing to take when they was giving us the information. You feel what I'm saying? And that right there, I wish that we were able to, like, actually, I think all court cases should just be televised, girl, especially if they high profile, ain't it? High profile cases, just go ahead and televise them so the people can really see what the fuck is really going on. Okay, now y'all probably can have certain parts of the case not shown to us if it's going to make a person, if one of the parties requests that this portion of the trial we would like to not have televised because it's going to, expose certain addresses or family members or whatever the case is, then maybe not show that, or sensitive because children are involved right there. But at the rest of it, bitch, bring it to the front and let us see what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, in between time, I do want to go ahead and get into what Radar Online is trying to say regarding Megan Thee Stallion and that ex-best friend, because Megan is on everybody's head, and she is coming for, I ain't gonna say she's coming for everybody, but she's coming for who she needs to come for during this time. Okay, she's already came for Tory. She's battling it out with 1501, and I'm learning more about that case that I thought I knew, that I really did not know about Megan's case. And the more that I learn, the more I'm seeing how much of a bitch Carl Crawford is. Like, it's crazy. Like, give this girl her fucking free. I do think that he should be compensated for finding her, or whatever the case is. But ultimately, okay, you just being petty for no damn reason. But let's keep going. So now she's coming after ex-best friend Miss Kelsey. Megan Thee Stallion demands ex-best friend Kelsey be found in contempt for her blowing off the deposition. Now, girl, listen. I just feel like when it come to court stuff, you don't play with that shit. Don't play with that. Don't just ignore some stuff and write it off or whatever, because that's not showing your disrespect for Megan. That's showing your disrespect to the courts. And that's one thing the courts do not like. So they might hold your ass in contempt. Okay? They might give you a fine or have your ass confined. Hello? Hello? So they're saying Megan Thee Stallion has accused, let's get these ads off real quickly. All right, they're saying Megan Thee Stallion has accused her former best friend, Kelsey Harris, of ignoring a subpoena demanding she sit for a deposition and turn over her private text with Tory Lanez. Okay, as we previously reported, Megan is headed to trial with her former label, 1501, Certified Entertainment and Executive Carl Crawford. Okay, they're saying Megan and 1501 have been in a bitter court battle since 2020. All right. They're saying in her lawsuit, the rapper said the terms of her deal with 1501 was absurd. I'm not surprised. Most of the time, any artist that signs a deal with a major label or smaller label, none of those contracts are ever fair, especially when you're entering those contracts with a lack of knowledge, which I do believe Megan entered her contract with a lack of knowledge. And Carl is probably operating from a space, or at least he was, operating from a space similar to what a lot of the bigger labels do to people. Because this ain't the first time. We hear a lot of people that be with these big labels and can't seem to get out of their record deals or want to like rework their hell. I remember TLC talking about how they had to hold their record label up at gunpoint. Okay, so these labels high key be predatory for sure, but everybody wants to go with bigger labels because they think that it's going to equate to bigger success. Yes and no, not necessarily. Okay, so with this particular situation, she says that her label was paid 60% of her recording income, and her 40% had to be used to pay her team. Okay, so basically, Megan wasn't necessarily making any money. All right. And it seems like she just wanted to look at that, renegotiate some things, and Carl wasn't necessarily up for it. All right. And I feel like the reason Carl was not up for allowing her to look at the contracts or change anything was because he was already salty. And I can't say that he shouldn't be, because she ended up leaving, from my understanding, or not really. She didn't really leave at all. She's still with them. She just went and got a management deal with Roc Nation, or met with Roc Nation. So I think he was upset about that, and then he just started being like real petty because he didn't even know about the meeting, and then here we are. Okay, but I just want to know more about how Miss Girl Kelsey plays into this. Okay, Megan fired off subpoenas to her ex-friend Kelsey and Kelsey's partner Darian Smith, who I do also believe works for 1501. The rapper and her ex-BFF were close until the incident where Tory Lanez shot Megan after the house party. Kelsey did not testify in support of Megan, and she really ain't testify in support of Tory because she didn't give a damn about neither one of them. She was more so team her damn self, and I can't say that she shouldn't be, but Tory, you should have been taking that route. Hello? Yikes. Okay, despite her not backing up the rapper, Tory ended up being found guilty for the shooting. All right. Now they're saying in court documents, Megan said Darian was an executive at 1501 and had knowledge of the label's alleged attempts to sabotage her projects. Okay. They're saying that I want to fast forward through all of this. Megan believed 1501 approved Kelsey's diss track. As a senior executive of 1501 and husband to Kelsey Harris, Smith undeniably has information related to 1501's crusade to publicly belittle Megan. Gotcha. So that's why she wants to subpoena Kelsey, for her to present any text messages or any knowledge that she may have in regards to 1501 trying to come after her. All right. Or trying to, prevent Megan from doing whatever. So she's saying court documents reveal Megan also wanted Kelsey to be deposed be deposed about her connections with 1501, Carl, and Tory. She wanted her to produce all communications she had with Carl and Tory. First of all, if I was Kelsey's attorney, if possible, my client wouldn't be releasing a fuck ass thing about Tory, in all honesty, because that's not what this case is about. From what I'm digesting, my client will only release information to you as it pertains to Carl Crawford and 1501. Whatever private conversations Kelsey had with Tory or whatever, That's not on the table. So you can have like, why would you want text messages of what it is that Kelsey and Tory talked about in their text messages about your connection with 1501, and not request the text messages between her and her actual husband? I feel like that's more damning evidence than what conversations Kelsey was having with Tory. That's kind of weird to me. I'm gonna be real honest. So yeah, no. Megan also wanted Kelsey to answer whether 1501 endorsed her diss track. I'm sure they did. I feel like they took a picture together. So I feel like that's enough endorsement. They didn't have to endorse it by putting money behind it because the song was absolute ass trash. So it wasn't even a need to really support it for real. But the fact that they even took a photo together during that time frame, everything was giving retaliation, a bit get back. And I can't say that Kelsey shouldn't, because if you feel backstabbed because your friend was fucking around on a dude you was talking to, and this ain't her first time doing it, then I mean, and you finally like had it up to here, then I feel like you're gonna respond how most people would respond. And if you do music, I'm probably gonna take a shot at you during music. Like, whatever, it is what it is. She says in her newly filed motion, Megan said Kelsey was served the subpoena in May but failed to appear for a June 21st deposition. That's disrespectful to the courts, ma'am. And you still having whatever animosity or whatever issue you got with Megan, and I don't know that to be true. This is an assumption, because maybe you had something going on with your child as to why you didn't make it. Who knows, right? Or maybe they served you but they didn't. Who know? I don't know. Maybe they sent the paperwork to you but you never got it. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you having a lack of regard for showing up, as much as you may feel a way about Megan and you don't want to help her in any fashion, you got to think bigger than that, because the courts is on your ass. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, she asked the judge to force Kelsey to show up. But if Kelsey gets an attorney, the attorney might know how to talk to the judge to, like, get her out of that, to where she ain't got to give her some time. She's going to respond. Give her the time to respond, Your Honor. Da, 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 da. So possibly. So we shall see. We shall see. All right. So she wants her held in contempt in some type of fashion. So we're going to see. But the only part I disagree with all of this is you wanting text messages between her and Tory. I just would think it would make more sense to get the text messages subpoenaed between her and her husband. Anything that they may have had, DMs and stuff that they may have had, right? But those are my thoughts. And I also feel like this. Megan, you have enough information with Carl. In my personal, you have enough information with Carl and you. All right, whatever emails, whatever dialogues, whatever posts he's taken to social media, you have enough information on your own to not even need Kelsey's statement for shit. Especially a bitch that would go into a trial and not even have my back on any fashion, and you just over there just acting like I don't know, and you just not really cooperating in the courtroom. I'm not finna, like, why even force her to give you information? Because she definitely gonna figure out a way to not give it to you. So it's like, I wouldn't even include her. I know you're trying to prove a point, but I feel like there's other ways for you to prove that point. And now it is giving you just coming after her for whatever reason, and that's up to you. But I don't know if either one of y'all is 100% right in that whole Tory Lanez thing. I don't think neither one of y'all should have been fighting over his ass for real, resulting in some bullshit like this. But anyway, girl, F that man. All right, now he can fight over whether what bunk he gonna be at, or what facility he gonna be in, or whatever, girl. But all in all, this is where we at. Tory Lanez is serving 10 years. It is what it is. I don't know if it's harsh or it's not harsh. I mean, I don't really think that it's harsh. I think it's expected with the amount of charges that he has, and the fact that he already has a record. Sometimes it's very difficult, and the fact that you about hired the wrong lawyers to begin with. So that's on you, and then you ain't even telling us shit for real. Good luck, sir. And Megan, girl, I will fall back from Kelsey and act like she no longer existed. And I just feel like you have enough evidence to not even need any type of statement or shit from her ass for real. But that's just what I think, all right? That's all that I have. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.